Good evening, everyone. It is 9:20, 4th of April today, isn't it? So the show's scheduled a bit late. Yabba won't be joining us this evening. He is fighting back floods somewhere in London. So best wishes go out to him and the rest of his art. But I'm joined by Mr. B this evening.
How we doing, BT? How we doing? One more day until Friday.
What have you got planned?
What do I normally have planned, man? I work hard during the week. I live for my weekends, and it starts as soon as those van keys go down. I'm not planning it. I'll tell a lie. It's my daughter's birthday on Sunday, so yeah, we're going out to eat, and I won't be watching the United game.
You skip probably for the best, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I would still like to watch it a bit live instead of coming home knowing that we've lost. You tend not to want to watch it, unlike you who watch the first half of anything. But yeah, once he leaves, I tend not to want to watch the game. So I'm hoping that it's a half decent game. And
I've got to learn the systems, Mr. B. Like, we haven't done an eye test for about a bloody year because I don't understand like this system, and I feel guilty, because I always say practical knowledge is the best knowledge, but I just can't be asked to go and join a team that plays an hammering system.
Oh, well done, man. No, it'll be all right, man. It'll come next season. The eye test will be back. I'm convinced, man.
Yeah,
I'm convinced. When we've got players who understand what they're supposed to be doing, let alone us trying to work it out. You know what I mean?
I always think that's a bit cruel when people say that the players don't understand the system. I think it's more that the players are either not confident in themselves or the system. Like it takes a while, in my experience, to sort of like really get into that groove where you're not even really thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, they're still thinking. I hear that.
Yeah. So when you learn to drive, like the first kind of 2 months, you're thinking, right, slow down, clutch, accelerate into the corner and stuff like that. And now you just got some tunes on and stuff's happening. That's kind of what these players need, is that they've got to sort of like process everything subconsciously rather than thinking about where they should be.
You think it's taken them too long?
I think that it's probably harder to unlearn the previous system than it is to learn the new system. So in difficult moments, they default to what they've been doing,
forever.
Ten Hag, yeah, exactly. And like they'll go back to the basics that got them as a sort of professional footballer. So, I think in the first couple of games, Amrin kept going on about how Delo was inside too much and he needed to like hold the width and things. And it will just be like Delo will be used to, coming in and trying to like put players in jail, like squeeze the pitch and stuff like that. And it's so difficult to go against your instincts that have got you to where you are. I'll give you another driving analogy. It's like going to France, driving on the other side of the road.
Oh God, yeah. I can't do it. I'll be honest. I cannot do the whole. My brain, it doesn't work. We went to Ibiza and I went to do a no tell a line Napa, and
nice.
I gave up after 5 minutes. I didn't drive. My other mate drove in the end. My brain couldn't work it out. My brain couldn't understand what was supposed to be going on, and we're only there a week.
Some bikes.
Yeah, we ended up getting quads. Yeah, we got quads. We ended up getting the quad bikes in the end. Yeah. We did the car for one day, and we did the quads for the rest of it. And then the second time we went, we just got the quad straight away. Yeah, a lot more convenient and a lot more fun.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was what everyone did in Napa, to be honest, was drive around on quad bikes.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know. I never went. Benidorm was as far as I got.
Benidorm.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't do Benidorm. I wouldn't do Benidorm. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not sure that would be my scene when I was
absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was my first time proper drinking.
That's why you loved it then, bath time.
It was fantastic.
So that could have been anywhere then. It didn't necessarily even have to be Benidorm. It could have been anywhere.
Yeah, but it was hot and I could run around a lot and there were loads of people and things. And I got lost in the sauce out there. It was
He got lost in the sauce. But let me have some manners. Matty Bassett saying big up. Stephanie is giving us a big howdy. Thank you very much for that, Matty. Richard Hawkins is in the house. Chat Sports is in the house. Wrong one. Chat Sports is in the house. Some Fizz is in the house. How you doing, man? Cool, Aces. You wanted him gone from the beginning of bloody time, mate. I tell you. MIB neutralizer required for. Yeah, you might be right. you might be right. As far as it's easier for them to I'm glad that they're struggling bath time. It will sort the wheat from the chaff, to be fair. I just hope that the players that they do decide to keep are the ones that are the ones that are you know, the ones that Amarin wants to keep and not the ones that he's forced to play. Vincent Bullock. Oops, got ya. It's great news here in Harley. No, you can't wish injury on anybody, man. But yeah, I get your sentiment, and he will be out of the game on Sunday. So when I'm at the stadium on Sunday watching the game, I will be glad he's stuck in his painting again, like in Ghostbusters. Okay, I didn't understand.
Have you seen Ghostbusters 2? Have you not seen Ghostbusters 2?
I may well have done. I definitely remember seeing the first one with Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, that's fucking quality. Luke
Yeah,
Shaw, Casemiro waddling around. Speaking of that, but basically in Ghostbusters 2, there's a bloke that looks like Haaland who lives in a painting, and he's the sort of scaredy ghost.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know you. Yeah, I know. Oh God, he does a bit, doesn't he? Yo, Yabba, what's happening? How's your swimming lesson go, man?
Yeah. You got a snorkel on?
Very funny, very funny. Yeah, I remember the guy from Ghostbusters as well. The guy, yeah, does look a bit like Haaland. Good shout.
Oh, there you go. Tyrone in the house is just he jumped on when you jumped on. I'm wondering if Tyrone's you, to be fair. But look, we'll see. We have a lot of double encounters on here that we're trying to work out who they are. But look, we'll leave it. Aces, where is your positivity? Where is the next win actually going to come from? God, what were we actually talking about? We hadn't even started the preview yet. We were waffling.
We're just having a chat about driving in Ayia Napa and my experiences in Benidorm, which is a key cornerstone of any game preview, I feel.
So yeah, but when was your first holiday piss up then?
Holiday piss up?
Yeah. When did you get drunk? Did you go away?
A lad's
when you
holiday.
Went away? Lad's holiday.
I've been on a few holidays with my friend.
One friend?
Oh no. No. I've been to Thailand for a few sort of piss ups and Sri Lanka a few times as well. Okay. I've been there 5 times, but every time's been great. Like we've been partying and you know, getting up to no good sort of thing. So yeah, but I wouldn't call it a piss up. It's just more like just
lads weekend.
Yeah.
Lads weekend to Sri Lanka.
Well, longer than a weekend, obviously.
Yeah,
just like 3-4 weeks. But yeah, I've had some good times like that. I had to think about it, but yeah, when you say piss up, like I'm not. I can drink, but I don't get outrageously drunk. You know.
Yeah, you're too big. There's not enough drink.
Yeah. I'm not staggering around with one of them ones, but yeah, I've had some good times. What about you, Mr. B? When have you?
Mine was Napa, but I'll say mine was Ayia Napa and Ibiza. Whichever one of them was first, I'll have to really try and work. I think we went Ibiza first, and that was great. We went Napa, and that was greater. But yeah, look, it's what you do in your youth, innit? Regret it now. No hair, grey beard. I'm wondering if it was the holiday taking its fucking toll on me, man.
It must have been quite an eventful one if it's like leading to hair loss and hair growth, like many years later.
I'm trying to work out what the issue is, Bath-time, and you try and pick things up. So yeah, I'll blame it on my holidays in my youth.
Well, I tell you what. Before we get to the preview, there's only two sort of stories. The first story is about Osman, and once again, it's really it's a non-story, I suppose. Like the Athletic has said two things. One is that everyone expects him to go to Saudi Arabia, and the second is that United still haven't ruled out making a move for him. So yeah, but me and Mr. B think that is essentially about kind of matching Saudi wages.
Yeah, is he money motivated, or does he actually want to do something legendary, like turn Man United around and win them the league and become a ledge in England, like he is for Napoli? It's interesting that I think his motivation it needs to be questioned. What's he want to do? Does he want to earn big money, go into Saudi and just be tucked away and not really noticed, or does he want to continue to play in the big leagues? I think you can still go to Saudi in your 30s. I mean, I heard Thomas Muller the other days. He's not signing a new contract at Bayern Munich. He's 35, and he's still getting offers to go to America or Saudi Arabia. So it's never too late. I think in your peak years, if I was Osman's advisor, I'd say to him, look, stay in Europe, and while you're wanted, and become a legend and create a legacy.
A lot of money though, Yabba. Like very, very difficult to turn down. I'll just say like 60 million or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but I mean, look, he's one of the few players. You on the show yesterday, you all agreed that he would be a number one choice. He's one of the few players that can make a difference and has proven could possibly make a difference. He's a good striker.
Kind of reminds me a bit of, do you remember that Chelsea boy, Oscar?
Yeah.
I think that he basically spent 10 years in China. I think he might still be there. He absolutely loved it.
Right.
But he was like, and there was another one that went to Russia who was called Hulk.
Yeah.
He's married his niece or something, isn't it? His ex-wife's, I don't know, some bunglings he's done out there, boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a real disappointment, and it's probably a very sort of like European-centric view. But I feel when a player moves out of Europe, you don't really see them anymore. To be honest, I mean, like you might see the odd clip of Messi or something in the MLS, but they're kind of gone, aren't they? When they leave Europe, like, and do you reckon, like, yeah, but if Salah went to like Saudi, I was thinking about this today. I mean, I'd be delighted because I want him out of the Premier League because he's I don't like how good he is, but he surely can't be ready to go to Saudi Arabia after the season that he's had.
Well, I heard today apparently he's going to sign a new contract with Liverpool. So I mean, he left it a bit late, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I think he must consider it. He's on the cusp of leaving on a free transfer, so he's the ball's in his court. And he can negotiate. He sort of can negotiate a good deal with Liverpool if he decides to stay, and he can get. He's got tons of offers elsewhere as well. So the player power there—that's typical player power. And the thing is with Salah, he's proven it over the last few years. He's just been doing the business, So you wouldn't, well, unless you're a Scouser, Liverpool fan, you wouldn't hate him for leaving because he's done so much. But it seems like Trent is getting a lot of stick for leaving, and he's done a lot for Liverpool too. There's no respect. I think I've heard Salah's going to stay at Liverpool.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, good for the league, but bad for me personally because I don't like Liverpool, and he's a hell of a fucking player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a chaos maker, man. He's earned the respect, and he's still dishing out licks to these players in the opposition team. So he's just, what can we do, man? What can he
just
do?
hope that, like, I mean, cause I watched first half, right, at Chelsea versus Spurs, and as always, it's a disaster of a football match. It's just ridiculous how Spurs are playing. But I was looking at Jadon Sancho, and he was having an all right game, and I thought about him, Rashford, Pogba, like they were all in the same team, and they're all so good at football. And yet, if they had an attitude like Salah, like we'd be in such a different position. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like in the comments last night, someone linked me a striker to go and look at, and he's got nothing. He's got nothing on Marcus Rashford's finishing at all. But I bet you he'd be a better signing for us.
Yeah, probably
because he's just
less
be
unselfish.
committed.
Yeah, and be willing to run through walls.
Or just be willing to like live like a football player. I mean, you think of those players. You can add Martial to that mix as well. Those were four of like the top talents when they were 19 in the world. And like Salah was pissing about with Mika Richards at Fiorentina or something.
Yeah, maybe it was an age thing. I mean, maybe it was an age thing. Maybe it clicked to Salah late. And the United players obviously had it quite early. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both, a bit of hunger as well. I think Salah has always been hungry. He's become a legendary footballer for the best North African player possibly of all time. So he's had the hunger. He was playing in Swiss football. It's always hard to get into Europe. I mean, for all these players playing in Africa, to get into Europe is a big thing. But when you start a lower league, lower team like Switzerland, or outskirts of Croatia somewhere, you need to get noticed. And he did. He had his big move because obviously there's a lot of scouts out there. Came to Chelsea and it didn't work out, but he went to Rome and he didn't give up, and he became a better player because of the hunger he wanted to achieve, and he's really proven it. So his mentals is really, you couldn't ask for anything better with Salah. He's always in shape, rarely gets injured, and even though me personally, I don't think he's the most talented player, but what he does really well is his fitness and his running power and directness, and he's a very hard player to control or keep quiet. So if you look at it like he's left-footed guy, plays on the right. I mean, who we got? We got Anthony. There's been Messi. There's been Mahrez. All these players are slightly different, but with Salah, he's just direct, relentless, with fitness, pace, power, and strength as well. And technically, I've seen him spoof some terrible shots, but technically he's probably not up there with Saka and Messi and all these guys. But he's just a beast physically. Yeah,
man, he's the most ordinary world-class player I've ever seen, but he is world-class.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you look at someone like Robin, who had all the skill in the world and things, and invented cutting in and shooting. Nowhere near as good as Salah.
Salah, he's consistent, man. Salah is he's consistent. That's Robin maybe wasn't as consistent, but he would still kill a man when he cut inside. But yeah, we can only think about having a player at that age who we're fighting to keep hold of. You know what I mean?
Well, we need to go out and find these players, don't we? Like with that kind of like attitude and things. And I always get laughed at by you two about my idea that we should just get in a couple of players that are literally there just for the training. Like, I'd love some guys who had that kind of attitude, that were like working on their bodies all the time and 100% committed. So that someone like Garnacho, I don't know if he ever thinks, do you know what? It's well weird how I'm constantly falling over whenever I'm trying to shoot. And then sort of thinks maybe I should put a bit of muscle on, or like look at how I run, or all these other things, and have someone to kind of like be a role model.
Do you think that would be down to maybe management? It's not going to be his agent. Do you think that would be down to management at the club?
Do you know what I think it is, right? I'm going to give you a really stupid analogy. But when you live out in the countryside, you are like, if someone gets their fence done or like their house painted or something, you go and ask like who did it for you and stuff like that. And I think football probably works in quite a similar way, where Marcus Rashford recommends a chef to Paul Pogba or something like that. I don't think that they do a lot of research and stuff like that. It's that someone else is doing this. I'll go and do this. And I think players like Ronaldo and Bale and so on actually went out and sort of spoke to people, like the top people, about how to develop themselves and things like that. And I just don't think that people like Garnacho sort of consider that kind of thing, because why would they? Like no one else in the squad is doing it.
Yeah, a good point. And the fact that he probably doesn't have anybody above him leading him or wanting him to do it, as in I'm just talking about experienced players, then yeah, you could be right there, Barton. You could be right.
And I think it's a bit of a failing of the club, because you'd assume that in the summer they're all given a personalised training plan.
Yeah, because I look at, when players go Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, within 6 months, they're bloody, you know what I mean? They've put it on, I mean? Bellingham was never a small guy, but you can see, look at Gareth Bale. When he went to, Real Madrid, Muller at Bayern Munich, he ain't got an ounce of fat on him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe it's a club thing, maybe it's a player thing. I don't know. But yeah,
this is what Brailsford's here for, in my opinion.
I mean, he's been very quiet, isn't he? All of these marginal gains bullshit.
I haven't heard anything about Brailsford since he did the audit. You see him in the crowd sometimes, but have you heard if he's done anything? Bit of asthma or you're muted.
Sorry, I haven't heard anything, but I'm not surprised that we haven't heard anything, because that's his role. We want to see in 2-3 years' time, look back and say, oh, he's done all this great work, and see us performing better on the pitch or having better professionals around the club. You're talking good conversation you're having there about the culture and all that, comparing what Bale did at Real Madrid and Bellingham's doing currently right now. It's a mindset, and when you're surrounded by those people, you have to conform. You can't get away with cheating or just you have to follow. You have to follow, otherwise you're out. And we need to have that sort of mentality as well. That when you come into Man United, it's not just about becoming a legend, and you have to set an example, and you have to be part of the culture at the club. And the culture club at the moment is I'm not going to make the culture club at the moment is really bad, because it seems like every player that comes to us doesn't develop, gets a bad attitude somehow, doesn't act professional. We've seen so many cases like that at Man United. So we need to change something at the club. And I'm sure Brailsford, which you asked, is doing something behind the scenes, but it's just not visible to us right now at this time.
I suppose, you know what? Would you say since December, we haven't kind of had the fitness issues towards the end of the game that we had under Ten Hag? Is that me misremembering stuff, or have we been all right for fitness, as a sort of team in recent months?
Well, we've got certain individuals that always get injured. We know that. But regarding fitness, getting through a game, I mean, we were dominating. We were trying to get a goal back the other day against Nottingham Forest, pushing them back on the back foot. They were kind of, you see how they relieved they were to get through the game and get the result. We had a lot of pressure on them towards the end of the game. And I think you don't see anyone blowing or, blowing out their backside or putting their hands on their knees and bending down and sweating. I haven't seen that. So maybe that's a good observation there, Bartholomew. I think, maybe we are seeing the players a lot fitter physically as well. This is the issue that was raised by Ralph Rangnick. He sort of picked that out. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I know you don't like him, but that's what he said. He said a lot about the physicality and the patheticness. It was pathetic, he said, the way the players are not in good shape and not performing, considering he's been to Germany and all these institutions like in Russia and all this kind of thing. He expects a better standard than that, and he's probably surprised, like most people are, when they come to Man United, just how bad things really are. So we do need to change. But the great thing is, look, we're having a bad season, but the best news that we've had probably this season is the stadium. That's something that's been resolved, and that's something positive, regardless of how it's happening. It's happening, and that means we'd be there's changes afoot and things actually happening behind the scenes. So regarding gauging how Brailsford's performing or anything else, we are seeing some development club wise into becoming a better performing professional club long term.
I don't know about that for me. I understand the point you're making, but it's still a little bit pie in the sky. You know, like how we said that I wouldn't believe Qatar was taken over until the Sheikh was holding up the jersey. Like with the stadium, until a spade goes into the ground, I'm not convinced.
There's no way they're going to make an announcement that it's not like boxing where you call up for fight.
You see what happened to the financial markets today, Yabba?
With Trump's
with Trump. Yeah, he's
what do you think that adds to the cost of building a stadium?
Well, a lot. Obviously, this is. I don't talk politics. I've read about it. I've seen it today, but I just think, it's only good. It seems to me it's only going to lead to doom. It's going to damage the financial markets and things like that. So
you know what? It might get the Glazers out though. All the things it might do with that dollar being so weak, like when they pay their debt in dollar and so on. It's a very, very good time for them to sell up and make a pack of money if they're paid in pounds. But my point is that until the stadium starts getting worked on, because of just how crazy the world is, like I mean, you could genuinely add 600 or 700 million to the building of that stadium just based off like the tariffs that have been put in today. So I'm kind of skeptical on it until they start actually like doing it, if you know what I mean.
I mean, look, here's one for you. Does anything ever come in under cost? Everything that gets built is always over. You know, H2, they had to stop it halfway because it cost too much. Tottenham Stadium ended up being more than they thought it was going to cost. Even, what's his name stadium?
Wembley.
No, the glass one. Tottenham Stadium. That costs more. So, you know, they're saying 2 billion. It's not going to cost 2 billion. You already know it's going to cost more than that.
You have slippage like built into these things. But Tottenham Stadium, I think, costs so much because we had some crazy snows for like 2 or 3 weeks. And it meant like they couldn't get like work done and stuff. And I seem to remember like did they not put an SOS out for literally every single electrician in London to come and like try and sort it? Do you remember that?
Yeah, my friend worked on the project. He works in construction. Yeah, it's actually true.
Yeah, and that drove it up a lot. But I agree with you, Mr. B. But the thing is, until they start, because at the moment we've just got like architects' visions and things like that. And like if you talk to the Liverpool fans that for some reason come to our chat, like when Hicks and Gillette bought Liverpool, they did exactly the same thing, showing a stadium, saying they were going to have a spade in the ground within a year or something, and it never happened. So, you know, God, anything can happen between now and them officially getting the stadium going. But it does lead Yabba onto the second story of the day. There's 2 protests on Sunday, one from City and one from us. Yeah.
Okay, so why are City protesting?
Do you remember they played Liverpool recently, and in the away end, there were like 10 Barcelona fans? Does that ring a bell?
So they played
Liverpool away.
Yeah.
In the away end at Anfield, there were like 10 Barcelona fans in Barcelona kit, like holding up signs saying "Thank you, Pep" and stuff like that. They're protesting about the fact that they have 10 ticketing agencies and they feel that day trippers are getting priority over like local match going fans. They're not happy with like ticket prices and things like that. But I think it's finally got to a kind of breaking point with older Man City fans and what their current football club is. You know, like I'm talking about the guys who've been going 40 years or whatever. And I know we always laugh at City fans, but I've lived in Manchester and there are a lot of them. And like anyone else, they're just football fans. And their club is also, they feel, being taken away from them with people looking for foreign money and things. So they're protesting, and we're doing another protest. I'm not sure what our protest is, though. Does anyone know?
Is it the guys 52, United 52 guys again, or 58?
United 58. It's
Oh,
quite an important
Yabba,
year for us.
Jesus Christ.
What is it? United 52?
No, it's
1958,
58.
after the Munich tragedy.
Oh, they're called 58. Sorry. All right. Is it those guys who are doing it?
Yeah. But I don't know what the actual protest is. If it's like a sit-in, or if they're coming in late, or presumably it's going to start at the toll gate. Like, we're at home, aren't we, this weekend?
Yeah, we're at home.
Yeah. I've no idea how they are protesting this time. If anyone in chat can tell us, that would be useful.
But like with songs, when you go to the stadium, people just join in with a song. They don't even know what they're saying half the time, but they just mime it or join in. You hear thousands of people singing something, drumming up a song, and everyone just joins in. And I think it's the same with the protest. You see a load of people going one way, and like Pied Piper, you just follow along with it. What we here for? What's this about? I don't know.
Nice.
Let's just follow and get on with it. But I just think we've had protests. When it's good to voice your opinion and have protests, but do protests really work? What did we get out of the previous one? What was the outcome? Did we tick the boxes, say, yeah, we were successful, or was it just an opportunity for people just to make noise? And because sometimes when you see protests, there's loads of protests in London, and Mr. B must know, working in there all the time. Sometimes you just think there's a lot of people just going there to cause problems, or just to, scream and shout and let off some steam or whatever. What is the purpose? Do protests work? Do they get the change that they want? I don't know. So I'll be interested to know what they're talking about this week.
Well, so first of all, they focus attention, and we got a game called off against Liverpool, which was quite a big thing. It gets column inches in the paper. It gets mentioned on Match of the Day and Sky and things like that. And also, when you think about the protests against Liverpool, where the game was called off, they spent huge money that summer. Like a company, I think they might have been called Pyramid Hut, something like that. They cancelled a £300 million sponsorship because they're based at Manchester Airport, and they were worried about the safety of their employees. So that is a huge bit. And also, in some ways, I think that protest kind of I think that got out the Glazers, to be honest, alongside their money problems. I think they just couldn't deal with it anymore. The people like Darcy Glazer and things. So I think they can be quite effective, but the key is, Yabba, is that they've got to be sustained over a long period of time, like boycotts and things. Because now we used to get all this stuff about email all the sponsors, don't buy any of their products, tell them why you're not buying their products. That seems to have gone out of the window, and I always thought that was a really good one. Like, cancel MUTV. Say why you're cancelling MUTV. Don't buy anything from the megastore. Literally, just buy tickets from the club. Don't buy any concessions, stuff like that. That used to be the policy, and now I think that seems to have gone away. And I thought that was effective.
I mean, the thing is with that bath time, unless everybody's doing it, unless you've got, not say everybody, but you get a mass of people doing it, one person or 25 people, not buying a shirt from the megastore is probably not going to be enough. I mean, Suze was saying in the chat that the protest is a sit-in protest. Now that makes more sense, because guess what? It's going to cost the company. It's going to cost the club money, because they can't physically move these people out. They've then got to pay the staff overtime and extra time and blah blah blah. So the groundsman and whoever else locks up. I mean, I don't know how long they're physically going to stay in there for, but
they have to pay the police extra as well.
There you go. So it's going to end up costing them a wedge. So maybe that's a better thing to do than
a good idea.
The empty stadium, because let's be honest, if they spent their money to get the ticket, they're gonna go and want to watch the game. Let's be honest. They've made the effort to get to Old Trafford. They're not gonna not turn up. They're not gonna watch the game on the phone outside. They're not gonna do that. So,
I mean, the big problem, Mr. B, is that there's huge protection from day trippers. Like every game, there'll be, I don't know, say at least 1,000 people going to Old Trafford, and maybe half of them are going for the first time, and they're going to. You see, like whenever we go to games, you see hundreds of people in that mega store with all the bags, and you can't really run around telling people how to spend their money. Like they've come from, let's say, Thailand or something, and they're getting 4 or 5 shirts and a couple of keychains and posters of Rasmus Højlund or something, and like that money goes into the club, and you just. I agree with you. It's difficult, but I hope that the protest accomplishes something. But to be honest, I think Trump's tariffs are probably going to be more detrimental to the Glazers than the sit-in protest.
Well, let's see if that bloody works, innit? Good old Trump got in there causing chaos.
He's Glazers out.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. He comes out there with his green and gold tie. The next time he sticks up his picture about taking money from whoever he's taking his money from. Look, we've been waffling for a little while. Obviously, it is a preview show. BT.
Yeah, this is the 11 that I picked this morning. That I would play.
Yeah, but
what do you want me to explain?
No, the team is up there. Obviously, the people in the chat can have a look at it. I suppose it could work.
Xerxes on the bench.
Why is he on the bench?
Because he hasn't scored since December the 1st, and we need something to come off the bench at some point.
So basically, him not scoring.
Yeah.
But he has contributed more positive with his football now.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I don't hate Xerxes, but I am losing a hell of a lot of patience with him. I think that Rasmus played better than he did when he came on. And I felt that Eriksen played well when he came on. And I think that like Xerxes, like he's not really going to get you a goal, but what we have seen him do against City is come on and help seal out the game. So I'm not playing him because I want to win the game. So I've got to put people on who all contribute towards a goal. And for me, Xerxes isn't that player at the moment.
And people are talking, Stephanie's saying here about you've dropped Dorgu. You had some sort of harsh words for him from the last night. Well, the other night against Nottingham Forest. I wouldn't drop him, no way. But what's your thinking behind bringing in Dalot and Maz as the
bit more defensively solid, like because like Doku, Grealish, players like that, Marmoush, like they seem to be more effective in wide areas. Mazraoui and Dalot have played in this position in some of our best performances against City, against Arsenal, against Liverpool. I think that with going up against City, they're not the City of old, but they're still a decent team. And I think that these two give us the best chance of competing physically and defending well and contributing in attack.
Going to the defence, I mean, you brought back Harry Maguire. There's no argument with that from anyone.
Yeah, there is. I do have an issue, to be fair. Obviously, what's the geezer with the quick feet that plays for City on the left?
Dorgu.
No, plays for City.
Grealish?
Dogu, that's the one. Him.
Okay.
There's no way he's going to be up. There's no way they're putting him up against Delete. It's going to be Yoro playing on the right hand side. I feel so. I think you've maybe got that wrong. I think it's going to be Delete or Maguire.
Who's gonna what centre backs do we have fit though? We've got those three plus you could maybe play Maz there, or you could maybe play Lindelof. You'd go for Maz with De Ligt in De Ligt's place and De Ligt for Maguire.
Yeah.
I've gone for Maz there because I think like with players like Doku, sorry, and Grealish, they don't really kind of go at you. They kind of pull you in and then try and go past you. But really what they're trying to do is open up spaces. So I think that Mazraoui and Delo have got the engines to get back and double up and stop the ball inside. And that's and like I trust them to do that more than Dorgu, to be
but we're at
honest.
home. But we're at home. And you know, Amorim once talks about attacking. That's why he got Dorgu. I just don't see Dorgu not playing. I'll be honest. I don't see Dorgu not playing the game.
Yeah, but this is my team, not Amorim's. I think Dorgu will start.
Just
I think Ugarte will start.
With Man City, they got this new centre back, haven't they? Is it Uzbekistan or yeah? He's really small. He's like maybe just an inch or two taller than Martinez, and I haven't seen enough of him. But I think
is that the 20-year-old?
Yeah, 20-year-old. They've obviously scouted him and thought he'd be good enough, but I don't know. Is he a bit vulnerable? Is it someone we could target, do you reckon? Because I haven't seen enough yet, but I've heard that
he's very, very fast. But
right.
But it looks like he's a signing that they've had to bring forward 2 years. Like it's someone that they would have been on the short list. And I don't know, like maybe like who's that Arsenal left back that goes into midfield that they used to have? Mikhailichenko or someone? Zinchenko. Yeah. I think it's probably a similar signing to him, where like they spotted him in the Ukraine league and gave him a year or two to develop, and then brought him over. But because of their injury crisis, they had to do it early, and he's clearly not ready for the Premier League or
physically. So we can maybe get at him if we had someone. Well, Haaland. You're saying Haaland could play up against him.
Yeah.
But you say he's really quick. He's rapid, is he?
He's very fast. Very fast.
I haven't seen much of him at all, but I was a bit surprised when I saw his stature. You know, for a centre back, I thought it'd be bigger and stronger.
Say that about Aki though, couldn't you?
Yeah, Aki's not. He plays in various positions, doesn't he? But he doesn't really get bullied or beaten up. He's not that vulnerable. But this guy, I forget his name, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we do against him, because I haven't had a proper look at him yet. We watched Man City at all to see what he's got. They spent a lot of money on him, so maybe they're vulnerable. They haven't played well this season. Haaland's out as well, which is a good thing for us. But why aren't City performing? What is it? How can we get at them? This is the question. Why are teams? Why have they lost like 7-8 games this season?
Physical. So they've lost their physicality, haven't they?
With Rodri.
One player.
With Rodri, but also De Bruyne has declined with his physical side. Gundogan and Silva are still both good players, but they're not able to really kind of put it about as much. You can kind of bully their defenders, like with no Kyle Walker there. They're a bit more susceptible to transitions on that side. Gvardiol also isn't kind of contributing as much as he did in attack. They're having a bad season. But I still think that there's enough there for them to be a real worry for us.
Okay, well, Andrew's saying he's got the answers. Let us know, Andrew.
I'll time him out. No one cares. Do you not like this team then?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
I would have played Dorgu and I would have played Xerxes. I just think
the Xerxes one. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry for cutting you off.
Well, yeah, the reason I'm playing Xerxes, I think he's playing really well at the moment, and just to drop him for one game, for Eriksen who's leaving the club, when you've got a player there, you need to be pushing for the next few seasons because he's going to be staying. Eriksen's leaving at the end of the season. Eriksen, there's no issue. Play him, come off the bench or whatever, control like he did the other day, come off the bench and do something. But I would start Xerxes. That to me is why would you drop him when he's going to be crucial for us and you need to play?
How do you know? How do you know he's going to be crucial? He could be it could be.
I just think we need to develop the guy. Just make him, feel part of the team and feel part of the first team. After the dip that he had or the slow start he had to this year, I know he's not scored goals, but I thought he's been really influential in the number 10.
But his job. Okay. as a number 10, if you're not scoring, you need to assist, and he's not doing that either. So I mean, I get your points about playing the future player, but then Casemiro's been playing. Sometimes you have to use what you've got and hope that they've got it in them to step up the level, because Casemiro can come in and don't give a shit, but at least he looks like he was mad as hell when he thought that the player half dived and he did actually foul him. So he's got that bite in him. He's got that self-determination in him. It's just whether or not the other players, Ericsson, he's going to be playing for a new contract next season. So I think he will be putting, he probably will be putting the effort in. But I get what you're saying about Zex. He should be starting, should be a starter. And maybe that's why Dorgu should be starting. Do you think your team's a bit too defensive, BT?
Maybe, but I think, for example, that with Ericsson, don't forget, Ericsson was kind of one of our better players until up to Christmas. He played really well, like at the start of the season and so on. We don't have like Ahmed, but I've basically got Mount and Xerxes to come on later, and I think that, and also like Ugarte, I suppose, to come on as well. And I think that they're not bad. They're not bad subs, but Xerxes, man, he started the last game over Hoyland, and is this me saying Xerxes, man?
I just love the way you say, man. Sorry, go.
All right, but look, Xerxes was poor in my opinion in the last match, and I don't think that Rasmus should have been dropped because he'd finally scored a goal. Like after, what was it, 22 games without a goal? And then we bench him, which I thought was a bit of an odd decision. Xerxes gets his chance in the number 9. Not good enough. Like he didn't do enough. And Dorgu had a pretty stinky game as well. And there's a bit of accountability as well to these players not being played. As Yabba, we were talking earlier about like the culture club and things, that you've got to keep them hungry and things like that. And I think that Xerxes, because he hasn't scored for 4 months, and he's only got 3 goals this season, I don't think you'd have to explain to him why he's not starting in a game where we might only get 1 chance.
Well, that's fair enough. I just, me personally, everyone's got their own idea of what we should do, and we have good podcasts and all that. We all, have different opinions. But for me, Xerxes is somebody that is a team player. He can hold up the ball. He links up the play really well. And I know people are going to judge him on goals and that kind of thing, which I think is ridiculous. I just think you have to look at what he contributes to during the games. And to have a bit of an off game, apparently, against Nottingham Forest doesn't warrant, for me, him being dropped for this game against Man City. You play him against Man City, that tells him that you are important, we like you, and we got confidence in you that you can do something. I'd play him 100%. But I've seen your comments. I hear your opinion. I respect everyone's opinion. That's just mine. Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, but you've liked him from the start, and I've always been a bit sceptical on him. And today, after finding out that Xerxes and Hoyland have 6 goals between them for the entire season in the Premier League, I'm really sick of them. Like, it's not good enough for Manchester United forwards. And Xerxes, I'm not gonna lie, he does make the team a little bit more fun to watch, because he might nutmeg someone in the middle, or he might do a nice touch. But it's not enough anymore. And when Ericsson came on against Forest, I saw him at least trying to move men around the pitch using the ball. I felt he used the ball better, and it was nice not seeing Bruno taking corner kicks, to be honest. So yeah, I get your point, but I just today in particular, I'm sick to death of Xerxes and Hoyland. They're nowhere near the level that is required, and I hope it's a blip for Xerxes, and that he turns into a really good player next season, and when we as a team understand him and like use him better. But I am not happy with Rasmus Hoyland. I want Mr. B's infected me with this -9. He's called -9, and that is, almost like, 6 goals between the pair of them. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that bad.
Is that including just the Prem, or is that including
Premier League?
All right.
Jesus Christ.
And that's 1 in 4 months, by the way. From today to the 7th of December, 1 goal between the pair of them for 4 months.
So just going back, I mean, I don't know, Mr. B, you want to back me up on this? So because Xerxes had a poor performance against Nottingham Forest, he doesn't play, but Garnacho starts after a lot of people said he didn't play well the other day.
If he starts on the right, if Garnacho starts on the right, Amorim messed up in that game. He got a couple of things wrong. Garnacho cannot play on the left. He cannot play Garnacho on the left. If Bruno has to move and Bruno has to adapt his game and play on the left, if he plays as the 10, fine. But we've seen it. We've seen it from Garnacho all season. The best games he's played for us, he's been on the right-hand side. Why? Because he gets his head up and the only thing he can do is cross. He can't cut in. Very rarely he can cut in on his left. You know, so he's better at crossing. He's better at crossing with his right foot than cutting in and shooting with his right foot. So keep him out there. Give him the instruction. If he doesn't play through the instruction, haul him off.
I don't know about his right, him playing on the right. I've heard your argument over the last few weeks about that, and I haven't objected to it at all. But I do think when I watched him the other day, it's the natural thing, isn't it? These inverted guys. When he cuts onto his right foot from coming in from the left, he's always likely to get shot off.
Why though? No, and this is the point, Yabba. He's more likely, and he's had 155 million shots. Yeah, in that game, he probably had half of the shots. He probably had nearly half.
He had 6 shots.
6 shots out of 24.
Yeah, so
and did any of them hit the target? No, he's a greedy cunt. For fuck's sake, he cut in and play the ball. Cut in. Everybody knows you're going to shoot. So what did they do? Stand up in front of him. You know, the opposition know he's going to shoot.
Well,
stand him up and play something else. Pop off a 1-2.
The fact that he's having 6 shots or attempting 6 shots is a good thing. It's positive.
No, it's not. Yeah, but because he's shooting from stupid angles, bruv. Come on, man.
The other day,
I don't think he is shooting from stupid angles.
He cut Yates. He was coming in from the left the other day. Dropped Yates with his shoulder. Went to turn and shoot with his right foot. The shot was going on target. And Yates just got back and got a toe on it or something like that. But I just think, he's a guy who always seems to, no matter what we think about him, and we do get a bit frustrated about the greediness or, his choice of pass or whatever, or lack of crossing. But he does attack and he does, make things happen when he gets the ball. So I heard an interview by Ian Wright. It's a really good interview. If you see it, I think it's done on Sky Sports recently. And they're talking about his rise from non-league football, playing Sunday football, suddenly playing in the Premier League, playing for Crystal Palace, then getting a move to Arsenal. But he said, they was going through some of his goals, and he said, look, they said, you're playing like a Sunday league player. As soon as you get the ball, you're just driving at him. You're going, right, it's on. It's showtime. You just get the ball and you're just going for it. And he said, yeah, that's what I did. And I brought that exactly that mentality to going up the levels. I didn't care. I just get the ball. If I can link up with someone, fair enough. But I'm driving at someone. It's showtime. I'm a striker. I'm going for it. And I just think, with just so much involved in the game these days, you need players like that who are just going to get the ball and say, right, it's on. Otherwise, I was just going to mention earlier when we have this conversation, we don't. How many players? You were talking about speed earlier, and talk about Salah. And talk about his attributes and that. But how many players in the Premier League can beat a man, not just but actually beat a man with skill or with a bit of speed, but with skill as well? I don't see that often. I'm looking at
now Fred's gone. It rarely happens.
Say it again.
Now Fred's gone. We rarely see it.
There you go. But even Grealish, so Grealish gets the ball. He holds up, waits for things to happen, just commits people, jockeys them, and that kind of thing. Saka, I'm looking at Saka. Yeah, he chops, he's strong enough to hold people off and get things off, but he's not beating people, cutting people up inside out. Saint Maximum, he was someone, I'll say, right, he beat someone. We might not like him, but he was doing that. The guy, Madioki, or whatever, the left-footed, Chelsea guy, he does that. It's very rare. This used to be the norm for wingers. Peter Unloff when the Premiership started, or Kanchelskis or Kinklazi and all these guys. They used to beat people. They used to drive and beat people. I'm not seeing that in football so much these days.
It's because of positional
that's why
play.
I applaud someone like Garnacho, who's going to go at people. Yeah, you know, it might not work all the time, but with all this system game we're seeing, trying to break people down or pass. Sometimes it's good to give someone the ball who's going to be direct, like that Ian Wright story I was listening to earlier, and just go for it.
And for me, Yabba, I think that Bruno and Garnacho are the only match winners in our squad.
Yeah. Garnacho.
Yeah.
Bruno's a match winner. Garnacho's not a match winner.
Right. The reason I say it, Mr. B, is that he is incredibly frustrating as a player. There's no way around it. Like, he's got glaring weaknesses in how he strikes a football, in decisions he takes and stuff. But he's direct. He commits men and he goes for goal. And that, right, okay, I completely agree with you. Last season, he took 100 shots and scored 7 Premier League goals. And one of them was a legendary overhead kick. So he's taken, on average, about 14 shots for each goal that he scores, which is, I mean, that conversion rate is genuinely appalling. And that is something that he's got to work on. But the thing is he's one of our only routes to scoring a goal. Like, he gets the ball, he goes at people and he shoots. And a lot of the shots he takes aren't actually like bad. It's not a bad decision. It's more like a bad execution because he's cutting in on his right foot, 25 yards out, etc. I think that with Garnacho, like, he is the only player, like, of the forwards that I think is ever going to make a difference. And even if he is like messing up all his shots and they're smacking out all the way and things like that, the opposition teams still have to get to him. They still have to close him down. No goalkeeper, no centre-back is allowing all these shots to come in, and it's creating holes and spaces in other places. I know it sounds ridiculous, but with Bruno in the six, he's by far our best attacker now because of how much he unbalances like the other team and actually takes direct goal-scoring actions. And I don't think he's good enough.
So
but it's what we've got.
It's true. You got to work with the pack you've been dealt with, and with that, I mean, Mr. B, just give me a quick 11. What you would do? What we've got available?
I'm playing Garnacho. I'm playing Garnacho. After all of everything he said, I'm still starting Garnacho. I'm just starting him.
Yeah. I could also give you all the negatives about Garnacho and then say, yeah, I agree.
I'm starting him on the right. I'm going to be honest. I would be starting him on the right.
With Ericsson?
It's Ericsson, Mount, or Xerxes, isn't it, for that position?
Yeah. And you know what? He can say he's holding Xerxes for the European game, maybe. I would be going with Ericsson. And Garnacho.
Yes.
I would be going with Ericsson and Garnacho. Xerxes a number 10 who doesn't assist. We've got players playing in positions and they can't do the roles that we want them to do. So yeah, look, give him a rest. He's definitely not a 10. I'm number 9, so we can't play him in that role. So he would have to be. I would go. I would probably go Agate and Bruno. Dorgu definitely starts. Dallo, he's gonna have to play. But I'm putting Mazraoui at the back, and either Delit or Maguire plays. With Euro.
Would you keep Maguire on the bench as maybe a striker to bring on for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Let him get some XG1s or whatever they said he got higher than Rasmus. Yeah, I would never take Maguire over Delit. That's just it's just my opinion. So, I mean, it's either one or the other. But I think Mazraoui and Euro need to be playing.
Yeah.
Disagree, Yabba? Sorry, go
I was just going to say, like, this is my team. This is not what I'm expecting. I think he'll play. He'll definitely play Dorgu, won't he?
He has to. I think he has to. I mean, I understand, we've been taking licks all season, but Dorgu's not the reason we've been getting smashed. So
kind of was against Forest.
Yeah, but that's one game, and then you look at the rest of the team. He wasn't. Oh, bath time. I know he didn't. I know he couldn't catch the flying winger, but Jesus Christ, maybe he'll learn again. It's not like, Ilanga's bloody pace like Maguire. He's rapid, man. This if you can't catch something, you already had the head start on him. And then obviously they learned, because when he went to break again in the second half, Eriksen fouled him. So they've learned. It's just that we got punished for it.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, that's the story of our bloody season, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But really, like, nothing too late is for me. Because I mean, we've got to win the Europa League, Mr. B. I'm fully on board with you now. Like,
oh, you're jumping on my shit now. I don't. To be fair, I didn't understand how you didn't think it was that important for us. I mean, if we do not have Champions League football, I mean, if we say European football is Champions League now, we're done. We are done, because they ain't got a pot to piss in at the moment. They're talking about the reset being July the 1st. That's great, but I'm sure they're going to probably be having to borrow the money on July the 1st to do what they need to be doing. So get Champions League. At least they can speculate to accumulate, if that's the word. Maybe that'll give us the option to go and get the Osimhen, instead of having to buy that waste man from what's his name there, Ipswich. We can't. Yeah, man, we can't be getting them level of plays at our club, man. I know we're in the transition period, but fuck me, man, he's shit, man.
Delap's not shit. He's just not what I just think that he's someone you got to polish up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. All they want to do is polish. Bloody cocksuckers. Buy some man that you don't need to polish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ready made.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I think it was Chatsport. He put in a comment that I think is brilliant about what is the point in selling potential to buy potential. Like, Garnacho, Yoro, and Kobe are in the like at the beginning of the season were 3 of the top 10 young players in the world on that stupid list, and sell 2 of them and bring in Delap after 1 season in the Premier League with our track record of developing players. Like, that's not
Crazy.
for me. Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know.
Right. You know what? Big up to everyone in the chat. We've got Jale, Dora, Andrew, of course, Tyrone, Richard Hawkins. We've got Rio as well. Rio's about. And Stephanie Griffiths is here as well. Chat Sports in the house as well. Guys, we're coming on to score prediction coming up. With everything we know, we have big up Tactical Devils as well in Sydney. But everything we know about Man City and Man United right now, I mean, what's to play for? I think Man City are still fighting for top 4 or top 5. There's a lot of teams in and around there, but we've got nowhere to go. We're in no man's land. What's there to play for? What's the result going to be? I'm going to start with you, Mr. B. Guys, in the comments, give us a score prediction. I know we're about 3-4 days off, but things could change. But Mr. B, are you confident at home against City we can actually put a dent on their top 4 campaign?
No, I'm not confident. But I wasn't confident when we beat them the first time, and we did. So I will go 1-1. I'm confident that we will score 1 goal. I know we didn't score against Forest, but Forest sat in the lowest of low blocks. I'm sure they had 8 men at the back at some stages. City aren't going to play like that. We'll get chances. It's just who the chance falls to. Hopefully it won't be falling to -9 or Garnacho, and it'll fall to somebody. Or Bruno's the only one you can find the back of it. Hopefully it'll fall to Bruno or a header from Maguire. But yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, Bath time over to you. How's your team faring against Man City?
I was going to say 1-1 as well, but I'm going to go 2-1. I think Garnacho will score a goal. Xerxes with the double off the bench. I think like City are not in a good moment. Pep was saying that win against Bournemouth has kind of turned the season around and so on. Like they played against Leicester, who we know that Leicester are bloody dreadful this year. I think that we've shown this season that when they're united and focused, they can actually mix it with the top teams. Like that this system works against Arsenal's and Liverpool's and City's. So I'm going to go for a highly optimistic 2-1 win. But I kind of think 1-1 is the most likely result.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw as well. I don't think there's much to play for either team. This is going to filter out with more excitement from the protests, I'm sure. People sitting in afterwards. We've got Sydney saying here 4-0 to City. 1-1 says Andrew, same as us. We've got a 3-0 here from Jale to City. Saying here the reason why the international break arrived at the time we found form and now splashing in the water again. 1-0 says Dora. 2-1 says Richard to United. Thank you. 3-1 to United says Kieran. We'll turn up for this game and then we lose away from home in our next game. We've got Leon, haven't we? We've got 4-1 to City. I have zero faith in these players. They're all shite, says Tyrone. 2-2 says Chat Sports as well. And 5-0 United, Angel says. Well, Angel says, why not? Yeah, why not indeed. We've got 20 likes so far. Make sure you press the like button if you are watching, tuning in. And tell your friends all about the Man United agenda. If you share it on your platforms, that kind of thing. That's Stephanie Griffiths. Big up, Stephanie. Thank you for that. And Chat Sports saying here, all I want to see is Harry Maguire up front, just to show Pep's game out the window. Game plan out the window. All right. I'm going to go, 1-1. You, Mr. B's gone for a win. We are going to be we're not on tomorrow, don't we? Well, I'm not on tomorrow. Are you doing a show?
No, I doubt it. That's why we got the preview out. Look, there might be a drunken something, maybe. But then again, maybe they won't. You look just have to hit the notification bell to find out.
No watch along on Sunday either.
Oh no, my daughter's birthday on Sunday, so
oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, I'll leave you guys to do the reaction. You'll hear me swearing from whether we end up eating. So I'll leave it to you guys on Sunday.
Well, fingers crossed we don't get injuries, because for me, our big game is Leon. I can't wait for that. I really can't wait. We got excited about Europa League football. Yeah, I mean it's come to that, but like, look, that's the level we're at, and I think it's going to be a competitive game. And I just want to make sure everyone gets wrapped up in cotton wool. We've got our best team to go out there and give our best performance, because this is massive, and it will lift the fan base as well. So Sydney saying rumours on the grapevine are that United have no value in the market and may try to bring in Endrick on a season-long loan. That's from Romano.
So check this.
Yeah,
because that is, I think that deal can be done.
Oh, don't be.
I think
he's absolutely obsessed with Bobby Charlton, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. They call him Bobby, innit?
Oh, really?
They actually call him Bobby in training. Yeah. Do you know what? I just don't see. I don't see how that works for us. We've got Cheeto, who's going to be a year older than him, or the same age. We've got Rasmus, who can't hit a barn door with a banjo, or banjo with a barn door, whatever they say the saying is. We've got Zexi, who can't score, and now we're going to get a younger striker when we need a proven one. Makes no sense.
He is proven.
Who?
Endrick. Have you seen some of his goals he scored in the minutes that he's got for Real Madrid?
Maybe, but I'll tell you what, right? That wasn't true. So, Sydney, you're getting a timeout for that, I'm afraid. I've just checked Fabrizio Romano's account. I'll actually give you a second to respond. But, like, you can bloody do one.
Guys, if you're up for more football podcasts, make sure you check out Tactical Devils. Going live in the United Real Therapy in 5 minutes. Jump on and give us a shout. Make sure you tell them you come from the Man United agenda. And tomorrow night, Keith Hackett. Is that former referee?
Ref?
Talking about refs, big up to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uriah Rene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that today actually. Beef halftime. Bloody hell.
Shocking.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Absolutely shocking. Like, he's generally one of the only refs that I can name. Like, and he must have stopped like 20 years ago or something.
Mm.
So he was like, he's like a karate man or something, I think, or
Yeah, they
he
didn't
like
mess.
kung fu or something.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu or something.
Yeah, I feel like that's absolutely awful. And I know we don't like referees in general, but they are part of the game, and you have to treat them with respect.
I want to say a big shout out to Bet Lynch, Julie Goodyear as well. I saw a picture of her today where she's got dementia and yeah, she looks unrecognizable. But she was famous in Manchester for Coronation Street for many years as well. So yeah.
Shout out to Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah,
Heat,
away,
Heat, man. Oh, what a movie.
Do you know that like that reloading scene in Heat? You know when they're outside and he like reloads a rifle. They show that in like the US military corps as the perfect way to reload the rifle, and they make them practice off what Val Kilmer did there. Yeah, apparently it's like elite what he did.
Okay, see, makes the film even better. Yeah,
Robert De Niro, is that Heat?
Yeah.
Okay. So
see, you know what? Talking about film, we'll talk about one of my favorite films. Now that I think about it, that
Warriors.
No, I've walked down like a notch.
Is Heat one of your favourites though?
Yeah. Now thinking about, I actually saw that in the cinema. Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah, have you ever seen? I'll tell you a really good film that you might like. Is Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Is this the racing driver film?
Nah, it's Clint Eastwood, and he's like 75 or something, and he's like living in a he's like had this house in America for like 60 years or something. All these Vietnamese people have moved in, and he's like grouchy and a little bit racist and things. And it's really good. It's a really good film, Gran Torino. Like, I think you'd enjoy that a lot if you like Heat.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Is there a film about a racing driver called Gran Turismo?
That's a game.
Yeah, that's Gran Turismo is a film about the game Gran Turismo, where they got a driver who was really good at the game to go and race cars.
My son came over. He made me watch that.
Is it bollocks?
13 or something at the time, and I was thinking, oh, goes. But yeah, I think it's.
This is 13.
It's a 13-year-old film, yeah.
Well, yeah, I was like, oh god, but it's turned out to be a true story as well.
Yeah. No, Gran Torino's a very. It's basically. Some people say that it's essentially a Dirty Harry sequel, where it's the Dirty Harry character, like at 70 years old.
Oh, lovely!
It's really, honestly, it's a really good film. I think you'd really like it.
All right, good. I'll give you something to do over the weekend then. All right,
that's a good film as well.
Yeah. What, over the weekend?
No, Phone Booth. It's
that's the one
Colin
with
Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Yeah, I've seen that one. I have seen that one.
I wonder when you'd have to. Do you reckon now, if you showed that to your kids, you'd have to explain the concept of a phone booth to them?
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I mean, there are still phone boxes about.
Have they used one? They sit like
no, it's got internet and piss and shit all over it, isn't it? you can't use it.
Sorry about that, lads.
Sorry.
When you need to go, you need to go.
And we need to go, so it's lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch from me.
It's lack a notch from me.